So just before this starts, I want to say a huge thank you to Aaliyah, Josh and Cameron, who helped me film all of this footage that you're going to see in the documentary today. I also want to say a big thank you to St Basil's and Seafor Fireside for all the work you've been doing and also for making this documentary possible. And finally, thank you for watching. So I hope you enjoy. Let it begin.
I'm Cameron, I'm 18 years old.
I'm Josh, I'm 18.
I'm Aaliyah Davies, I'm 17.
Hi, I'm Liv. I'm part of the fundraising team here at Seafor Fireside. My name's Sophie. I am the employability lead of Seafor Fireside.
My name is Asim. I'm 48 years old. I'm actually working here as a progression coach at St Basil's.
This project began all the way back in December of 2021 when I took part in the St Basil's Big Brummy Sleepout.
So we're here at the big sleep out with Barry Hodge at St Basil's. Here doing the sleep out this evening here at Millennium Point. Barry, the big sleep out is back. It's the first time in a couple of years since the pandemic. How excited are you?
Excited, nervous, looking forward to it. You know, just it's been a very, very tough couple of years for us and loads of other charities and for everyone. We've all had our own experiences about what's been going on in the last couple of years. The reality for us is that this event last year couldn't take place. It was a real sore one because, it meant a big part of our fundraising couldn't happen. But here we are, we're going to do it again. We've got a lot of people signed up to come along and going to brave the elements to raise some money so we can continue the vital work we do in the West Midlands.
So for people that maybe don't know, what kind of is the big sleep out all about?
Big Sleep Out is very much what it says. It's about making sure that young people are, that people are sleeping out so young people can sleep safe. To give you a bit of an idea of what we're talking about, this isn't an event that's about recreating rough sleeping. It's not about that. It's about giving people an idea of the kind of things that we are trying to prevent. So, we're going to be outdoors. You can probably already see my breath on the camera there. You can probably already feel it, through the audio just now as well. It's very cold and we're quite early on in the night. Could be rain, the noise of the city, the lights, the idea of someone having to sleep on concrete, is, it's just not plausible. Now, the reality for an event like this is that the actual element of it, the thing that kind of kicks in for people, it's not the taking part in the event where it kicks in, it's after the event. It's when people go home, they have a shower and they get into their own bed and realise they're not going to have to do this again tonight. And they realise, ultimately, that a lot of people sadly are having to do that on a regular basis. And the impact that has on your physical, your mental well-being, really, really problematic, So,
And is that the big takeaway that you want to take for people coming here tonight? That the takeaway is this is a reality, that it's harsh, it's cold.
Yeah, I mean, that ultimately is it. We want people just to get an element and a flavour for what it is that we're ultimately trying to prevent. Because, look, the reality is no one should be sleeping rough. No one should be concerned about, not having somewhere safe and secure to live. The work that we do in St Basil's and other organisations like us is all about making sure that people have somewhere safe and secure to go. And that is why we do this event, is to raise money so we can make sure we can keep doing that.
How important in your calendar then is this event for fundraising and getting that money together that you can then go away and put towards your programmes and things like that?
Yeah, I mean, the reality, this is our flagship fundraiser, and that is why it was such a sore one last year when we couldn't do it. This is the event that raises the vast majority of our money. And the truth is, that homelessness is an issue that people tend to think about mainly during the winter months. Homelessness is an issue that happens 365 days a year. It doesn't get worse at any particular time of year. But this is when people think about it. This is when people, want to do something to support our cause. So that is why this event is so vital to us.
And obviously, with the pandemic, there was things like the eviction suspensions. What has been the impact now since that's ended and kind of the last few months for you as it's been getting colder, as unemployment's still a decently high rate? What's been the impact that you've seen?
The reality is that more young people have been looking for our services. You know, the thing about homelessness as an issue is that, you know, homelessness, thankfully, is not something that happens to many, many people, you know, but the issues that lead to homelessness happen to an awful lot of people. And sadly, the reasons why people are coming to us, you know, they always change, they always vary. But we're seeing a lot of, you know, people coming to us just now, you know, that were working, you know, did have, you know, secure employment or what they thought was secure employment. Sadly, they've lost that employment. You know, the impacts of the pandemic on people's mental health and the impact it's had on their physical health. You know, the reality is that there are more people coming to see us now than there were before. And ultimately, you know, all we can do is be there, and that's why we exist. We will be there to make sure that everyone has somewhere safe to go and somewhere safe to sleep.
And tonight is both an event here at Millennium Point, but also at home as well. What was the thinking about making sure people could do it at home as well this year?
I mean, the thing about it was that last year when we did this event, you know, obviously we couldn't physically do it in a location, so we did the big sleep out at home. A lot of people took part in that, and one of the things that we did last year, which again we're doing tonight, is, you know, we're providing things that they can get involved in. So, you know, we've got some fantastic things where there's some things to keep them entertained, like, you know, films from Flat Pack Film Festival, there's performances from the West Midlands Fire Brigade Service Band, the brass band, you know, performances from musicians that were in the Moseley Folk Festival. The whole thinking behind doing it like that was obviously this pandemic is still going on, you know, and, you know, people still want to show their support, they still want to do something for us, so we wanted to offer that opportunity to do it. And if I'm completely honest, I can see that being an event that we, you know, that'll be something that we'll do going forward anyway, because ultimately this is an event, it's about inclusion, it's about an event making sure that everybody can do their bit in order to help a charity like St Basil's do the stuff that it does.
Following on from the Big Brummy Sleep Out, I stayed in touch with St Basil's. I was able to visit one of their lodges in Leamington Spa, where I had a day with the young people teaching them how to use all of the camera equipment, and they filmed the next bits of the documentary.
I'm Leah Davies, I'm 17.
I'm Cameron, I'm 18 years old.
Hi, I'm Josh, I'm 18 and I've been here for about 2 weeks at Newbold.
There was a lot going on at home, and it became too much to cope with, and there was a breakdown in relationship between me and my mum mum's boyfriend, so I made a self-referral to be here so I can gain some independence. I moved out end of September last year, and I'm a lot better off for it.
So I've been at a different lodge, Binswood Lodge, for nearly a year now, and it started back in about 4 years ago when I had a disagreement between my parents with my mum, and she kicked me out to live with my dad. Then a parental disagreement again with my dad, kicked me out to live on my own in a pub. I lived in a pub for a bit, then I slept rough for about 2 weeks, and then another member of my family picked me up and kind of helped me get on my way from there. And then I, after a couple of months, ended up in one of the lodges and doing better for myself, better than I have been. So
I left a bit of an abusive household, was looking for my own place for a bit, couldn't succeed, managed to get in touch with St Basil's through school, and eventually managed to get myself a place here at Newbold, and I've been here for about 2 weeks now.
So they help you a lot with your mental health. So if you're ever feeling down, they make sure there's always someone in the lodge that you can speak to. They try their hardest to gain relationships with the residents and the workers, so you feel comfortable and you're in a safe environment. They offer like things like grants and everything. So say like if you haven't got enough money for clothes, they can offer you some money for clothes, or they can help you get to and from school. And they really like try and build up confidence in yourself. So after I think it's 9 months of being here, they help you send off your application for housing, get your bidding number, and teach you how to bid, how to get your own house, how to pay rent, and then they give you support when you leave. So they help you in so many different ways, and just any way that you need help in, they will be there for you.
well, personally, they've helped me get into my current job. I absolutely love working in the escape rooms. They've been able to help me and support me through a couple of my tough mental health phases. They've supported me a lot through that, which has been very good. And just their support team, their staff is awesome. Progression coaches just work really well, especially my one. He does a pretty good job of just making sure I'm all good, because I'm quite a silent person. I kind of just keep under the radar of it, kind of with work and kind of not being in the lodges too much, but when I am there, they're there and support me. So I'd say the people and kind of the support teams are very good.
They've got a few support workers working with me, such as Asim, and there's different life skills course you can attend, so helping with cooking, helping budgeting, helping with finding new accommodation to help you then move on after the minimum 9 months or the maximum of 2 years you can stay here.
The relationship between the workers and the residents, and then the relationship between all the residents, everyone gets on so well. We have our days where we don't get on at all, but at the end of the day we all come together because we all want to live here. The relationship with the residents and the workers is it depends on if they can, some of them can take a joke, some of them can't, some of them are more serious, but sometimes you need that more serious word put into it. But it all at the end, everyone it's all a big happy family really. That's the best thing about it.
Yeah, I've built a family community. I live at a kind of a bigger lodge with 25 people, and I probably see about 10 of them regularly. They just we've built this whole family system. I'm one of the head people. They call me the old man or the grandpa of the family. Because I'm just old spirited. I'd rather walk around in a house coat and stuff and just chill out. And it's good. The communal place is good, and just being around people. So the atmosphere and the people are probably some of the best parts of it.
Just the community in general, the help you get from the staff, and basically just living independently. I guess it's a nice way of bridging the gap between living supported and living completely by yourself.
My name is Asim. I'm 48 years old. I'm actually working here as a progression coach at St Basil's. I work with young people especially, who are facing homelessness, to help them move on, to live full and fulfilling lives. The reason I do this job is because when I was 16, I left home. A very difficult situation with my family. There were issues around mental health issues. My father was an alcoholic. My mother had mental health issues, and this situation was very difficult. So I moved to London. At that stage, I had to find accommodation. I had to find a job. Within a month, somebody helped me out. Some of the hostels in London were terrible at the time. This is talking about late 80s, early 90s. And somebody gave me a helping hand, so I thought, going on in the future, I want to do something that maybe helps other people in the same sort of position as myself. And I've been working here for about 3 months now, with some very interesting and charismatic and clever people who are, really, really amazing. I thought, so that's why I'm here. It is the young people. It is when you actually interact with somebody, when you connect with somebody, when you can see potential, you can see, how much they've got and how much they can give, and to try and help them talk through stuff. Because so the reason I work with St Basil's is, as I mentioned, because of my own past. And the young people, the best part about it is the young people I work with, because they are, they have so much potential, and it is amazing to interact and connect with people.
St Basil's works with young people exclusively, so if you're between 16 and 25, St Basil's will work with you. But if you're older, aged 25 and above, then Seaforth Fireside is where you need to go. I had the chance to visit and find out about all the good work they are doing to support the homeless community here in the West Midlands.
Hi, I'm Liv. I'm part of the fundraising team here at Seaforth Fireside. As part of the fundraising team, we run campaigns to encourage individuals and community groups, as well as corporates, to get involved in supporting the work that we do. This summer we are running our 3rd annual Big Brummy Camp Out event, where families across Birmingham can camp out in their gardens in support of Seaforth Fireside. So the Big Brummy Camp Out is part of our overarching campaign, the Big Brummy campaign. So every month we tie in the work that's being done down at Seaforth, the work that local businesses and organisations are doing in the city as well. In terms of the income that we receive from fundraising, that goes towards the running of our drop-in centre. So we are the main day centre facility in Birmingham for people who are homeless and vulnerably housed. We run drop-in from 9 till 12:45 every day, and we serve food, hot drinks. We give out clothing, we have showers. We also have a nurse that comes in every week, and we have other health services such as mental health support. We also receive physical donations from our community. That includes clothing, food, toiletries, and we rely on the support from our community to provide those things for our clients. So at Cypher Fireside, we operate 3 main branches of support. So we have our crisis service, and which involves the food, clothing, showers and the health support. And we also have a recovery service which helps people move on from homelessness. We stand by our clients as they rebuild their lives, and that involves support with employment, with sustaining their tenancies. We have a homeless transition team that move clients into their accommodation and make sure that it's safe and livable for them. We also run a job club, English language lessons for our non-English speaking clients, and activities to help clients engage with their communities and the things that they love doing. We also run the Adult Support Hub, which is commissioned by Birmingham City Council, and our ASH team support clients who are vulnerably housed to prevent them from becoming homeless.
My name's Sophie. I am the employability lead of Cypher Fireside. The employability department is new and falls under recovery. So we have a contract with the Department of Work and Pensions, and this year we are aiming to get at minimum 120 people with an outcome which gets them closer to the labour market. So a lot of people who present at Cypher Fireside are not necessarily job ready, so the outcomes are not necessarily going to be achieving paid employment straight away, but it could be things like focusing on recovery, getting stable accommodation, being housed, finance management with their benefits. But again, we hope to work with people on their journey to recovery. So with the project workers within the department, they will work one-to-one with clients, and they will do an action plan in which they identify the barriers that are preventing them from attaining or achieving paid employment, and then they will look to identify what kind of industries they would be interested in working towards going into in the future. As they get further towards these goals, they set medium and long-term goals. So we see quite a large number of people present at Cypher on a daily basis. I would say approximately 80 people a day. That number does vary depending on various different things, what's going on in their lives, the world, the weather, all sorts of different reasons can change that. But on roughly around 80 people a day that we support. In the package of support that we are offering our clients, it not only involves getting them further into a position where they are able to work towards employment, but also when they do achieve employment, it's in employment support, so pre and post support. So if they do happen to be successful in an interview for a job, we will support them and the employer in any support that they might need. So that could range from a phase into work, or extra support, could be different start times, flexible working hours, so just reasonable adjustments really, and it would all be person-centred and individually focused. I believe the employment department at Cypher Fireside is very important because it's part of the wraparound support that we offer. We're not just helping people on the doorstep and get into housing, but we're giving them a future and something to work towards, as in complete recovery and getting their life back on track, and basically just having a brighter future and better quality of life.
This is called Poor Misguided Rebel. Now you might be a rover drinking whiskey from a jar, but I doubt a boy your age has ever seen an armoured car. You want old songs of rebellion and you scowl when I refuse, but the wind that shakes the barley, it never shook for you. I'm not saying things were easy when your granddad was alive, but you were born in Birmingham in 1985. Now I don't know for sure where you got your point of view, but the wind that shakes the barley, it never shook for you. See, there comes a time, my friend, when a man must put an end to all this rage and bitterness and spite. So let's celebrate what's good and dispense with all the rest. Why dwell upon the past when your future looks so bright?